Welcome to Magic Gathering Strat. This is Dom, and I'm gonna do another Pauper playtest session for you guys to watch. And today we're gonna test out this neat little deck here. It's called GB Morbid, and I'm just gonna go over the key pieces as I usually do in just a few minutes, just to make you guys familiar with what you're going to see. So the idea of the deck came up with the card Lane Denizen from Gatecrash, which was introduced to the Pauper form a few months ago, and the interaction it has with the Persist mechanic that we know from Shadow Maul. So basically how this works is you need a Sac Outlet, a sacrifice outlet, for example Carrying Feeder. Then what you want to do is, if you have Carrying Feeder and Lane Denizen in play, and you play a Save or Delete, then you can sacrifice it to Carrying Feeder, giving it a +1/+1 counter, and Persist will trigger, which means the guy will, the Save or Delete will come back, will re-enter the battlefield with a -1/-1 counter on it, which then triggers Lane Denizen. Lane Denizen's ability allows you to put a +1/+1 counter on something. Now what you want to do is you want to put this counter on Save or Delete, and then the way +1/+1 and -1/- counters interact is that they cancel each other out. So what you will end up with is a fresh new Save or Delete, which you then can re-sacrifice to Carrying Feeder, giving it another +1/+1 counter, and then you can just repeat this process as many times as you want. What your end game is basically an arbitrarily large Carrying Feeder, which then you can just attack your opponent for the win. Now the thing is, if they have a blocker, you need something to push through. This is where Elvish Herder comes into play. It gives target creature you control trample, which basically means that you can that you just win with your Carrying Feeder, unless they have like an instant speed removal or something. Now the other very powerful end game this interaction can have is if you have an Essence Warden in play, which then just basically allows you to get as much life as you want to. The problem with this interaction is that it takes a lot of time to go through, so you need a lot of clicking. So what that means is today, if this interaction comes up, I will just pause the video so that you guys don't have to watch me just clicking for like 5 minutes or something. Now yeah, so this is the basic idea. Now how this version of the deck evolved is that I discovered a green-black sort of morbid aggro deck in the Pauper to the People forums. You can check the link in the show notes. This deck did play 4 copies of Putrid Leech, and also like the Vesterhide Boss, which is a 5/5 trampler for 4 if you have Morbid. And yeah, just basically a green-black aggro deck. And in general, I think that Putrid Leech is very much underplayed in the Pauper format. It doesn't really seem to have a home, but the card itself is very powerful. I mean, it's basically a 4/4 guy for 2 mana, which is which is very strong. It's unfortunate that this card hasn't had the time to shine yet. I think it was in some of the early Tortured Existence decks, but I think that has somewhat run out of fashion. Anyways, so the way our combo works together, how it is all tied together, is by this card. This card I discovered a few weeks after I tried the original list, which just ran like 8 Persist Guys, 4 Lane Denizen, and this list was horrible because it was just so susceptible to removal. So if you tried to go in, they could like kill any of your guys and you just fizzle. And it was also pretty hard to assemble the combo sometimes. But then I discovered this guy, Wildwood Herald. Now it says when it dies, you can search your library for an elf card and put it into your hand. And fortunately, or coincidentally, all our combo pieces are basically elves, except for the Sac Outlet, which is why we're on 7 pieces of them. I consider 8, but 7 should most of the times be enough. But the rest of the combo pieces are all elves, so Save or Delete's an elf, and Lane Denizen is an elf. Also your Essence Warden to get infinite life, and your Elvish Herder to push through your huge guys. Also, they are also both elves. Plus I decided to include some sort of silver bullet card, or just basically one. It's a nameless version, which is also which has the changeling ability, so you can also tutor it out with Wild Herald. And the the peculiar part about this deck is that it combines sort of the aggro tempo nature of the green-black Morbid deck that I saw on the forums with this infinite loops kind of idea. So it kind of attacks you on multiple angles, which is always nice to do, because then they have to like tap out to deal with your early aggression, and then you can just get in with the combo. The other 7 slots in the deck are 3 copies of Tragic Slip, just because it's a 1 mana removal and you will trigger Morbid a lot of many times in this deck, and 4 copies of Bequeathal. I sincerely don't know how to pronounce this. Let's just call it Bequeathal. It allows you to draw 2 cards if one of your creatures die, and yeah, this just, your guys die a lot in this deck because it's sort of like the main mechanic. And there are also 3 copies of Nest Invader. They help you to maybe ramp out the turn 3 Festa Hypo, or also just give you a free body to sacrifice if you have Bequeathal or something. Plus they are 2 separate bodies to sack into your Carrion Feeders should that ever be relevant. For the lands I run just some basic combination of Guild Gates, fetch lands, and then playing swamps and forests. Now for the sideboard, there's a Serene Heart, which is a card against the Boggle deck. I always like to have something to protect me from that, because it can be really rough if you don't have it. 2 copies of Scatter Archer, which are again tutorable with your Wywood Herald. These basically come in against Delver or some random Squadron Hawk decks. 3 copies of Duress, just against your combo control deck of any sort, basically. Just the matchups where you don't draw Tragic Slip. Then some more removal spells and BorosKitty and Tragic Slip, just for the matchups where you need them, like Delver Fiend or something. Then 3 copies of Thermocast, just against the Cloudpost decks of the different Cloudpost decks around. And 3 copies of Gleeful Sabotage. We have a lot of green creatures in this deck, so we will get to conspire that one often. And basically, yeah, I think it's the best option green has against Affinity. So yeah, I'm always happy if I have a deck that can include this one. So yeah, that's the deck. I'm gonna go to the tournament practice room, play 2 rounds as usual, and I see you guys in a short while. So here we are for round 1. Gonna wish our opponent good luck, and we want the die roll. We're gonna play first. This hand, yeah, this hand is kind of suboptimal because it doesn't really have early aggression. It has some Sac Outlets, but it's still lacking some parts of the actual combo. I think I'm still gonna keep it because we have like all of the mana we need, and a sacrifice outlet, which is always helpful. So I think I'm not gonna mulligan. I'm gonna start off. Well, there are arguments for both, starting with a Carrion Feeder or starting off with like the Evolving Wilds to fetch up a forest. Should we drop Putrid Leech? I think I like the Carrion Feeder line a little bit more, just because we have a second sacrifice outlet, so we don't really care if this one gets bolted or something. Now let's see what we play against. And it's going to be Affinity. Hooray! This matchup is decent, I think. They are pretty fast, but they don't have many ways of interacting with a combo because they only have the 4 Galvanic Blast to stop us. There is one, I think. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's just sacrifice this guy for good measure. And just pass the turn. So yeah, as I said, the matchup seems decent. It definitely seems winnable. They don't have many ways to interact with you gaining like infinite life. Might still be something different. Nah, it's probably just Affinity. There have been some of the red-white artifact decks around, and also like red-black, a little bit slower versions of Affinity, with like what's the card? Perilous Mirror, I think. Yeah. So here, I think we're just gonna run out the Connoisseur. It uses our mana the best. We could have fetched something up for Festa or Ivy Lane Denizen next turn, but we wouldn't have been able to trigger Morbid, and I kind of want to wait. I want to use this Festa as a blocker for his like Mirror Enforcers and stuff. So he has Drum, Disciple, and probably another Bolt. Oh no, just a Carapace Vulture. just a Carapace Forger. And we draw a Carrion Feeder. Now I think here we're just going to go Essence Warden into Carrion Feeder and then pass the turn. Next turn we could potentially sacrifice one of our guys, probably just a Carrion Feeder into itself, just to play a 5/5 that will be able to block his Carapace Forger. He doesn't have a target yet, which is always helpful. I am planning to play Affinity in some daily events, so if one of you guys is an Affinity expert, I would be very glad for advice, because the deck seems very powerful, but I have no real plan, especially for the sideboard. I really need some advice for my sideboarding. So if one of you guys is an Affinity expert and can help me out, I would be very, very glad about that. And he has something white. Yeah, Porcelain Legionnaire. Yeah, that still seems okay. Oh, that's also interesting. Now we can go for the 5/5 Fester Hypo. That would be one option. If we want to do, we can probably just slam with Carrion Feeder. Maybe he doesn't block if we want to sacrifice it to itself anyways. He already played one Galvanic Blast. The problem is that Porcelain Legionnaire has first strike, so if he attacks with it and we block it, he might just blast us. Yeah, but the turn after that we have Tragic Slip Up. So yeah, I'm going to actually attack with the Carrion Feeder, see if he blocks. It doesn't really matter if he does or not. He just takes a free damage if he doesn't. Yeah, maybe he falls for it. No, he just blocks. And boom. Then we play our sweet little 5/5 guy that will be able to hold the fort for some turns, hopefully. We even gain a life, hooray. Now what does he have? He has Somber Hoverguard. Maybe he doesn't have another Galvanic Blast, because if he doesn't attack, he probably doesn't have another Galvanic Blast, I would assume. And then we probably want to use this Tragic Slip to kill off his Somber Hoverguard. Yeah, I'm not sure if he's bluffing here, but I'm not going to risk it. I'm just going to take 3 damage. Seems better. Carrion Feeder. I think we're just gonna run out this Carrion Feeder, then block his Porcelain Legionnaire, and that doesn't even do that much, because he's just gonna let first strike damage resolve and then bolt it. So that doesn't even work the way I thought it would. So I think at this point we're just probably going to Tragic Slip the Legionnaire. Yeah, this really sucks. This doesn't work the way I wanted it to, but what can you do? So maybe we should just go for it. Maybe we should. And he has, what does he have? Blue mana. Might be a Thought Cast, which will put us reasonably far behind. Yeah, you know what? I'm probably just gonna block the Porcelain Legionnaire. And if he has to drink, now he just attacks with Somber Hoverguard. So he probably doesn't have the other Galvanic Blast. So I think at this point I'm just going to Tragic Slip his Somber Hoverguard, just to buy some time. Boom. Your Hoverguard has tragically slipped. And we draw a Golgari Guildgate, which is decent. It's not the best, but it's something we can work with. we still can't attack because we just get attack back for so much more. So it doesn't really make sense. Now all we need is either an Wirewood Herald or a Elvish Safehold Delete, and we can gain infinite life. This will probably, and we'll probably get the concession from that. Oh, now he attacks again. With these two guys. No, only with the Legionnaire. But he didn't attack with the Legionnaire before, so he might just not have the Galvanic Blast. Huh. Yeah, I think at this point we can't really afford to play around it much longer. And actually we would be glad if he would spend his Galvanic Blast like that, because that would mean that he doesn't have the Galvanic Blast to kill the Ivy Lane Denizen. Yeah, actually I actually like this more. Because now if we draw one of our combo pieces, we can basically just go off. And we don't. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Just gonna play Putrid Leech and probably put the counter on the Putrid Leech so that it is a 5/5 and we can block his guys. Yeah, that seems a most optimal way of doing it. What does he have here? Fling? What would he possibly fling? He flings the Legionnaire at the Ivy Lane Denizen. Huh. Yeah, so we're just gonna sacrifice this thing into this. Did we miss that before? Could we have sacrificed our boar? Yeah, I think we could. Yeah, I think we missed that one. But what can you do? Pay more attention is the answer. Now we're just gonna trade for one of his big guys. And yeah, then we're probably under a little bit of pressure. But as long as he doesn't have that much to follow this up, I think we're still okay. He doesn't have anything. Okay. Damn it! God damn it. We would have drawn the save or delete. Man, I'm really bummed right now. Really bummed he flinged our guy away. So now I think we're just gonna attack back with the Connoisseur. And then probably not block with the save or delete. I don't know. That seems very, very ballsy. But I think it might just be the correct play to our outs here. Yeah, I'm just not gonna bother. I'm just not gonna bother blocking. If he has ATOC, he has ATOC. Then what can you do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Doesn't even. It's not even enough. ATOC is not even enough. And he probably would have played it a long time ago. No, he just had it. I'll even go to 11. This one goes to 11. Yeah, so he still can't kill us yet. But we have to block both of his guys now. That kinda sucks. Yeah, at this point we're probably dead. Because we have to block both of his guys now and we just lose our whole board. If we don't, we just lose. Right? We go to 7 and yeah, of course. Huh. So, we could block with a Connoisseur on Enforcer and then we save all the lead on our ATOC. That seems okay, I think. Then we can just sacrifice some stuff to trade here or to just eat his Enforcer if we sacrifice the Essence Warden as well. Yeah, so let's just sack this. Yeah, but who am I kidding? At this point we're just dead. And sack this again. And sack this. Eat his guy. Take some damage from the Disciple. Take 1 more damage from Disciple. We go to 10. And he's still some points away from killing us. Next time we can just block ATOG and survive, but really doesn't look good for us here. He even has something else. Okay. That game was pretty close. I think it was much closer than it actually seemed. Now what we can do is, yeah, this blocks ATOG for a turn, so I'm not going to sacrifice it to get something right away. Doesn't seem worth it, because we can still block the ATOG, block the Frogmite, go to 9. Maybe we're dead. No, but we can still get Nameless Inversion to pick off one of his guys. It's not getting better. His draw is pretty fine. So he just attacks with ATOG, which means we just block with our Herald. Could even get another Herald just to buy some more time. Yeah, that might be decent. That might actually be decent. Yeah, so just get another Herald. And sack this to get another Forest, probably, yeah. And boom. Huh. That's something. Yeah, that's definitely something. Maybe we're not dead yet, because now we cast these two. He attacks with ATOG, we block with Wildwood Herald. Let's see how we actually... Maybe we're just dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... No, he still doesn't have enough artifacts. So we just block here, and maybe he doesn't attack with Frogmite. And then we can still probably get our combo off. But then he still has this blocker. Yeah, we still have to find something for this blocker. Huh. Yeah, this game was really close. Or still is really close. Basically we were two times he just had to have an answer. Otherwise we would just have comboed off. So what does he do? He just bashes us with everything. Yeah, I think that's correct. Because I think we actually just die here. We definitely block the ATOG. We have to block his Carapace Forger. And he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 artifacts. So yeah, I think we are pretty dead. Now what he has to do here is he has to sacrifice these artifacts before Disciple of the Vault dies. So what that means is that we can still get something. That we can still get the Nameless Inversion with the Wildwood Herald and kill off his Frogmite. So 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see. How many were those? How many triggers does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Man, this is really messy. This layout is really messy. So yeah, let's just. Oh, did we? No, we didn't. We still have the Nameless Inversion. So I don't think this is enough, but honestly, I'm just not able to like count this all together. I think we're dead. I think that was enough. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No, we go to 1. Okay, we go to 1. And he only has ATOG. Oh man, that's actually awesome. And he just scoops. How did we win this game? Oh man, that was awesome. The Ninja Nameless Inversion just completely got him. He scoops the match. Oh, that's awesome. Sorry for you guys that you don't get to see another round here, another game here. But that was That was just the best. Okay, I'm just gonna pause the video and I'll be back for you for the next match. Thanks. So here we are for match number 2 against Mr. Necrotal77, which is a pretty old school name. I dig it. This hand looks decent, although it's not the best again, but hello. Now that's a way to introduce yourself. The old hello. And he's playing a black deck with sweet Zendikar full art lands. And he's playing pretty slowly. He also has this check in armor avatar, which is kind of disturbing, but never mind. He seems to like it. And we have a save hold delete on turn 2. This is going to do some work, I think, against the black decks. This guy's actually really good against black decks just because they tend to play like sacrifice effects. And this matches up pretty nicely against sacrifice effects. Ravenous Rats. How rude. How rude. I think we're just gonna throw away this Fest type ball. I think we need all the other cards more. Now what we could do is we could go Carrion Feeder Save or Delete, or we could go Carrion Feeder Bequeathal. I think I'm just gonna go for maximum ball presence here. So I'll just go for Carrion Feeder Save or Delete. If he has another discard spell, I think I'm probably gonna throw away this Nameless Inversion, because it's actually not that good against the deck where all of his guys just generate value when they come into play. So we're gonna swing with a Save or Delete. And let's not get caught by the old F6. Huh, he blocks. That's interesting. Ah, he has Undying Evil. Okay, that makes total sense. We could sacrifice this guy to Carrion Feeder just to... You know what? That actually seems worth it. Yeah, it makes our Carrion Feeder bigger. It doesn't kill his guy. And we don't get to discard a card, and this guy doesn't become a 2-2. So yeah, that seems totally worth it. Huh. The more you know. The more you know. So now we have this 1-1 sitting around, which is a nice target for Bequeathal. By the way, you can just enchant opposing creatures if you don't have a target you want to sacrifice, if you have like a removal spell. So I really like this card. It's definitely very strong in this deck. I think there are other decks that could use it. I don't know which ones, but there have to be some out there. So now I think I'm just gonna Bequeathal this guy up. Probably run into a removal spell, but yeah, this still seems okay, because then he spent a removal spell for basically nothing. Yeah, he does have it. Echoing Decay. That will kill our Save or Delete, but sacrifice effects just come in, just again show how handy they really are. Does he have another Echoing Decay? Huh. I think I just sacrificed my Save or Delete if he would have it, but he doesn't. So our Bequeathal is successfully dealt with. And we play another Save or Delete and smash his face. Oh, he has something. He has Gaff's Verdict in response, so we just sacrifice our other Save or Delete and smash his face. Boom. So now we have some pressure up, and also have this. We also have this Nameless Inversion, which is quite useless against him, and it's probably just going to get ratted away by like a chittering rat. Well, what can you do? Yeah, this deck is tough to play against, because if they have like targeted instant speed removal, they can fizzle your combo, and they just generate a lot of value in the early game. But honestly, I don't really know the matchups all that well, because that deck is really... Deck attacks on so many angles. Our deck, I mean. So it's pretty hard to figure out when you actually have to go for a more combo-oriented route, or when you just have to go for the full-on beatdown. So I think now we actually just go for the full-on beatdown. I'm not that that fall on that we actually want to spend this nameless inversion to deal with this guy, because we can still just attack with everything, and he doesn't really have any very good blocks. He can block the 1-1 safe already, but we're just gonna sack it to carry and feeder. So that seems worth it. Yeah, that's what he does. Now we just sack it, knock him for 6, fetch ourselves a shiny new swamp, and pass the turn. So now he's at 9 life, which yeah, it's pretty low. He also played 2 Sign in Bloods. Signs 2 times played. He played Sign in Blood twice. Jeez. But now we might have something like Corrupt. But Corrupt, if you corrupt one of our guys, we can just sack it away. So so I think now we actually just want to get rid of this Phyrexian Rager. Yeah, I'd rather get rid of the Ranger because he plays like Undying Evil, and I don't. It would probably have been better to target the Chitrung Rats in this situation, just because we have no cards in hand. And if he plays Undying Evil on Rats, we don't really care. Still 3/3 though. Yeah, definitely, it definitely would have been better in this situation. Oh man, he just I hate that. I F6 so much on Magic Online that I often just F6, although I have no business doing that. So very sorry about that, guys. That was just a complete mess up. Did we attack? I think so. I think so. Yeah, I definitely would have sacked his safe or delete to my carrying feeder. Yeah, I hate that. I'm used to F6ing on Magic Online just because time is such a big factor, and then oftentimes people just, yeah, they can benefit on that by just killing off your guys if you only have 6. Fortunately, we draw another carrying feeder, so that kind of makes up for it. Could have attacked with this Wild Herald, just so that maybe he wouldn't have attacked. But now I think we, I don't think that playing, well, we could play an Ivy Lane Denizen right now. That doesn't seem like the worst plan. So again, I'm just gonna try and sneak in a damage. It's probably not gonna fall for it. No, he will not. So we just sacrifice this guy. So that basically means that if we draw a green guy, which we have a lot of in our deck, that we will get an arbitrarily large carrying feeder. And if his last card is not a removal card, that could be something very helpful. And if it is a removal card, then if this green guy withdraws another copy of Wild Herald, we could just win the game anyways. Ah, he has a removal. It happened again. Man, I'm really I have to work on that, I know. Yeah, if you want to comment about that, please don't, because I'm aware of it. I just have to find out a way to not do it, because it's so tempting. He targets Rager. Yeah, what I mean by that is obviously I should just have sacrificed the Ivy Lane Denizen to carry and feeder. But yeah, it's how it is. It's how it is. I mean, not that it would change that much, because it's carrying feeder. Yeah, carrying feeder could attack, but should I block? Should I block and sack? So just so that I can attack. It's maybe correct. I don't know. Yeah, let's just do that. Let's just block and sack. Make our guy a 3/3. And draw a Guild Gate, which is not very helpful. Yeah, this F6ing twice here really cost us. We really have to not do that anymore. Dead weight. Still around, still helpful. But our clock has been shortened. Our clock has definitely been shortened. Denizen. Yeah, let's just slam Denizen. Hope he doesn't have removal again. And then just smack him with our carrying feeder. What could I do to not F6 as much? So tempting. I'm so used to doing that. At the beginning I never did it because I was afraid of things like that happening. Now I just do it all the time and don't even care. Which is definitely a bad option, I know, but so it's what it is. So I think let's just play Pure Leech. Get our trigger. And we're gonna grow the Putrid Leech. Yeah, why not? Why not? By growing the Putrid Leech, we prevent Putrid Leech getting killed by something like an Echoing Decay in response to us pumping it, and we also allow it to attack through his 2 guys. So that definitely seems correct. Putting on the Lane Denizen doesn't really do anything, and putting on Carrion Feeder doesn't really do anything either. So yeah, I think it's correct to put on Putrid Leech. So we just bash with Leech. He has to block it. And does it double block it? Yeah, he does. Huh. Do we get both of his guys here? That would be awesome. What is his last card? And his last card is Tendrils. Tendrils on his own guy. Okay. Okay. That's definitely fine for me. Yeah. Funnily enough, we're still in decent shape, even though we messed up 2 times. By the way, we should have played this land, so if it, in case it was like chicken rats, that we are not punished. We don't get punished. So we just smack with both of these. And it's probably going to block, yeah. Sure. Sure thing, man. No. It's not going to block. What could he have that does -3 that we get punished if we pump it? I don't think there's anything. It's not necessary to pump it anyways because we put him to 5. Which means that he has to block the next turn. But yeah, you know what? Screw it. Just pump it. And he does have, what does he have? He has a cycling land. That's something. Could be anything. Even a corrupt. Even another cycling land. Liliana Spectre. Well, that means that it's just going to die immediately. And if he doesn't have anything, he's dead. But he has a card in hand still. Huh. And we draw a ball. Yeah, you know what? I should have played it pre-combat, but never mind, let's just go for it. Boom. The green and black assault. And he dies. Sweet. So even though we misplayed twice, we still won this game. Which, yeah, I can't say I like it, but definitely points towards the power level of the deck. Sort of. So Thermocast doesn't seem to do anything. Serene Heart does kill his dead weight, but whatever. Point removal doesn't seem that great either. It seems nice as like a follow-up to an Unearth card. Or the Unearth thing. What's it called? Undying Evil. I think maybe we just want Scattershot Archer. At least gets his Liliana Spectres off the board, and point removal just seems so terrible against him. I just want to rest. Huh. Could be something. Yeah, you know what? I'm actually just gonna cut the Tragic Slips. Put in the Duresses. Yeah, that looks fine. I don't think we have to place point removal against this guy. We're on draw. We're on draw. If we draw a land, this hand is fine. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna keep it. I'm usually not the guy who keeps risky openers. I tend to mulligan a lot. Maybe a little bit too much, but I just don't like openers that don't do anything. This is one of them. If we don't draw land, we just don't do anything. But we draw it. So we're a master. We're a master of the game of Magic the Gathering. And he cycles. Yeah, let's press F6 a lot, very many times in a row. So just that we can do it as long as we have the chance to do it. Blah. Now we could play an Estimator, which would mean that maybe next time we could go double save or delete, but I think that's just rubbish because we have like this Golgari Gate, which just means that we probably couldn't go double save or delete anyways. Purely is just the best threat around. Could have dead weight. Yeah, let's just go for a fetch land here. I think we have enough lands. And let's attack with Putrilage and not pump actually. Because you could have like the he has gas-worthy gateways. So yeah. There's no way to really play around that. Well, there is a way to play around that. The way is playing safe hold elite turn 2. Because he has those sacrifice effects we know about. So that was probably wrong again. Not playing my best Magic today. Let's just get a guy out that we can bequeathel. Hmm. 4 mana up and still no. There's something. Now we could actually shuffle something away here. I think it's what we're going to do. I'm just gonna put this Golgari Gate on top because you don't need that many lands. And let's just shuffle that one away. And we'll do another bequeathel, which is okay. Could also put in his guy. Then we don't draw the cards immediately. It's kind of what I want. So let's just put it on that. Sacrifice it for mana and 2 cards. That worked out very much to our delight. So let's just play double save hold delete and smack his face. He could block and yeah, he could play Undying Evil, but if he does, he does. He doesn't even. Okay. Okay. You could have Unearth. That would be reasonably annoying. Yeah, he does have Unearth. But yeah, I think we're still in it. Now this gets really annoying. I agree. Not gonna lie and tell you guys this is not annoying. Now what could we do? We could bequeathel something, but what does that really do for us? I think we still attack though. If we bequeathel one of his guys, he has to block eventually, but I want to be able to sacrifice that thing immediately. What we could do is we could attack with both guys, and then we'll just Wild Herald and bequeathel it. Yeah, that seems okay. I think let's just bash. Let's just smack his face again. Now he has Undying Evil. No, he still doesn't. And we play Herald and bequeathel it up. Just because it's the thing we want to sacrifice the most. So next turn we're gonna draw another Golgari Gate, which is just not as I would like it to be, but what can you do? Chicken Rats is a powerful card, I'm not gonna lie. So let's just bash with her as a safe hold delete. This is kind of awkward because what this does is that if we draw the Sac Outlet, never mind. What I want to say is if we draw the remaining combo piece, so basically a Sac Outlet, then we can't go off because these already have counters on them. So we are relying on another green guy, but we have a lot of green guys in the deck, so we might still have something. Another Swamp, which I'm going to play because you could have another Chittering Rat. So basically against Mono Black it's most of the times it's a very good idea to not slow roll cards in your hand, just because they can punish you by letting you discard, or even worse, just play chicken or rats. Just very annoying. Which is probably the reason why I'm going to just bequeathal this guy immediately and not gonna slow roll it. He fizzles it with the removal, which is fine for me. Yeah, that's fine for me. We both have reasonable endgames. His endgames is basically throwing around corrupts like there's no tomorrow. Pure Leech is a zombie leech, which means it doesn't get hit by Victim of Night. Which is something you should know. All that is helpful to know. So now we can actually attack. We can actually just attack him. Gonna play the land pre-combat, so that if he has Undying Evil, we don't get punished. Yeah, let's just pump this guy. Pump it up. He probably has Echoing Decay. There it is. Or Tendrils. Yeah, that works too. That works too, I guess. He's still not drawing a lot of business, but he still has cards in his hand. We have to assume that they are removal. Now he attacks. Yeah, probably means he has drawn discard, but we're still just gonna block with our Wild Herald. Then see what we draw and see what we want to do. We draw nothing. Okay, that means we probably just tutor for another Herald. Seems the most solid. Now we can actually go Denizen Herald. Seems decent. So Denizen, I'm very sure this Denizen is just going to get killed. Edicts us first. Okay. Okie dokie. So yeah, sack this guy. Play this guy. And yeah, we're not gonna put a counter on anything. Yeah, as I said, it was pretty obvious that his cards are just all removal. And play this, sack it right away. It's probably wrong again, because we could have kept it on the battlefield in case he has another Jittering Rats. So now we could block and get a safe hold delete, but I think at this point we're just gonna see what we draw first. We're not under a lot of pressure. Our miser rat nameless inversion. So let's think we want to keep this nameless inversion around in case he goes for like Undying Evil. So what we're gonna do is I think actually it's just better to block the rats. I think it's just better to block the rats and get a safe hold elite, so that we can start interacting again. This matchup is really grindy, because both of our guys have generated a lot of value. Now we didn't really have a Sac Outlet during this game. Yeah, we didn't draw a single one. That would definitely have helped. He would be at much less life. So we just play the safe or delete, play the swamp, and pass the turn. Now we're gonna block, and if he has Undying Evil we can fizzle it with Nameless Inversion, which is a little bit of value to be gained off Nameless Inversion. I don't like the card in this matchup, as I said, so I'm just gonna block your guy. He's not gonna Nameless Inversion it, not gonna Undying Evil it. Fine for me. He has Rager. It's not fine for me. I think maybe you want to just Nameless Inversion this. Then again, No, no, I think I really want to fizzle a nameless, an undying evil with this thing. Okay, now we have to play it, and I'd rather play it on the. Nah, no. Like before, with no cards in our hand, I think it's better to just play on the rats. Yeah, just play on the rats, and see what we draw. See what we can do. Yeah, we draw Essence 1. That was pretty suboptimal. This card is a one-off in our deck. We maybe should even have slow rolled it in case we draw another Ivy Lane Denizen, but then again it's mono black rats and you don't want to have cards in your hand as mentioned before. He has a cycle land. At this point we can F6. We should use the opportunity to F6 because just so that we can do it a couple of times. Crypt rats for 1. So far so bad. Yeah, I think we're out of it. I think at this point we're definitely just out of it. Yeah, we would have drawn some stuff, but it doesn't really matter. So what are the cards that I'm afraid of the most? I don't think there's any particular one. I still don't like spot removal, so I'm just gonna resubmit it as it is, and hope we can win. Really hope we can. This hand seems very solid. It has a turn 2 Karen feeder only, but that's not the end of the world. If it draws one, we can even Karen feeder plus to rest him. Now I think, yeah, maybe it's just correct to run out this Wild Herald. Because it protects us from sacrifice effects. Yeah, that seems decent. That seems okay. He had Gaff's Verdict and the what's the other card? Diabolic Edict. Yeah, both Edict effects, so that seems okay. I think we're just gonna throw away Carrying Feeder, I think. Because we have this Blood Flow Connoisseur. Because I've thrown away the forest, but whatever. So we're just going to play Putrid Leech, and we are not going to attack with Wild Herald because we want to have it around to sack it. This duress seems pretty suboptimal as well. Yeah, let's just put a guy on top. Nothing we can do about that. Now we can play a Connoisseur and then attack with our Putrid Leech. Seems decent. Yeah, that seems okay. He has a lot of cards in his hand, so we probably can't combo even if we draw the remaining piece. He just blocks it. Just double blocks it. Okay. If that's what he wants to do. Gladly gonna eat both of you guys, sir. Nice little bit of card advantage here. You might have double unearth, that would explain stuff. But then again, we get to shuffle our stuff away. Because we don't really want any of those. So we just discard the remaining Connoisseur. And he probably has another unearth. Because why will you block with both guys if he didn't? Do we want to draw the rest? Do we want to draw the rest? I think we want to draw the rest. I want to know what's up. So let's just duress him. And get a Tendrils or a Gaff's Verdict. Yeah, definitely just the Tendrils. Definitely just Tendrils. Now we can bash with Putrid Leech. And I think I want to keep the other guys around. Let's just pump it. Pump it up. Now he can swing back at us for 3. Oh, did he have? Did he? There is Swamp Gaff's Verdict. Yeah, he did have to swamp before, so he didn't draw it. I didn't bother to check the artwork. Oh, he did draw the Crypt Rats. Okay. Okay. That's fantastic. It's just what we wanted. Now I think we're just gonna bash him with the Pewter Leech again. And then if he doesn't, he does block it. He probably just double blocks it and we pump the leech and he's gonna activate rats, but then we can, oh no, he doesn't even care. Yeah, he probably wants to rats, he wants to activate rats for more than that. It's just so that he gets all of our guys for sure. We still have this Wildwood Herald around. Yeah, he just rats for 4 here. For 5 even. So we get to search our library for an elf. I think at this point it's just going to be save, hold, delete. Yeah. Let's just play the elite. Because also I've played the boar, because we're probably not going to morbid it at this point, but nah. It might have been better to just play the boar. Because now he could have a discard spell. Oh, he still has the edict. Never mind, it's definitely not better to play the boar here. Because now I think he's just going to edict us. Then we can play out the boar for morbid. Yeah. Okay. And hopefully he didn't draw another tendrils, because that would really suck. That would really suck for us. But we would have played it at end of turn, so at least he didn't draw it just now. We could have a corrupt, which would give him 1,000,000 turns. But if he doesn't, he actually dies rather quickly. It's just basically 2 swings. And he has another rat, but he can't activate it for enough just yet. Oh, but we're at 8. This game might actually be a draw. So let's just bash him. Bash him with all we have. And he takes it, goes to 5. But now he could actually draw. Yeah, if that's what he wants to do, he could draw. Which, yeah, he's probably going to. Because why not? It's his only option. And this game 3, right? So that means it's just a draw. Yeah, I think so. And the game is a draw. Oh no, we still do get to play it out. We just play another round. Of course. So yeah, let's just resubmit. But who starts this game? I think I do, because I started the last game. Who knows? I haven't had that many draws happening. Really didn't have that many draws happening in Magic Online. And if I had draws, they were... No, I just didn't. Yeah, I had some draws in real life. I actually had a draw in Legacy at GP Strasbourg against a high type player, which was very unfortunate, because the thing was that we were on mulligans, and the clock just ran out, and then the judge came running around and said no, don't start, but he did mulligan. He actually mulliganed, and I didn't, and I played Tin Fins, so a deck that can, it's basically a combo deck that can easily win on turn 1, 2 or 3. So if we would have gotten to play it out just starting with extra turns, I could easily have won. But because he was on the draw, because he was on the draw, he couldn't win with his deck actually. So the point there is that there's a lot of potential to abuse the situation, because he could just draw infinitely, mulligan infinitely until time runs out. Because he really can't win from this point, and a draw is the best he can get. But yeah, never mind, this is all not really relevant for the game we're playing right now, so I'm just gonna stop rambling and actually gonna start thinking. He has this Crypt Rats, which he could do for 4 potentially next turn. That means that we don't really want to overcommit, so I'm just gonna play this Wildwood Herald and suit it up with Bequeathal and bash him for 4 damage. The full 4. And he's probably going to Crypt Rat this turn. Because if he doesn't, then he just takes unnecessary damage. And we're gonna basically refill our hand to 7 cards. Which is quite nice. Yeah, that's what he does. Always draw the cards first because you want to know what you need to get. And in this situation, I think I would just want to get another Herald. Just so that we can wait and see what we need to do with it. Now I think I'm going to play both Sac Outlets. And then next turn I can play a Herald, tutor something up. We still don't get to play this Festa Hypo, which is pretty annoying. I'm not sure what I feel about Festa Hypo. Maybe 2 copies and 4 copies of Nest Invader would just be better. Because the card works really nice with Nest Invader, but without it it's just a little bit of a stretch. And sure, he gets a land. We redraw our land immediately. Now what can we do? We could play this Herald, sack it, and get a safe hold, delete, and attack. But that doesn't seem very good. I think I'm just gonna play the Herald and set up a Festa Hypo for next turn. Don't know how good this is, but never mind. Now if he has another Chittering Rats, we can just use a fetch land or a fetch elf or anything basically. So we don't have to redraw one of our lands. Still has a ton of cards left. Yeah, he's just attacking, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with just taking 2 damage here. We can have block with the Wyver Herald, but again I want to be able to play the Festa Hypo for big. There's another Crypt Rats. He's activating Crypt Rats for 3, which means that we don't get to save any of our guys, which is unfortunate. Let's just tutor up some, not just fetch a forest. And then yeah, don't think there's anything we can do, so we just get Crypt Rats again. I think at this point I'm just gonna go for the beatdown here. Might still be wrong. Yeah, you know what? I'm actually just gonna play this safe hold delete just because it's so good against sacrifice effects and this putrid leech. Because the only way you can really get rid of it is sacrifice effects. Or me just blindly pumping it and running into the -2 thing, the echoing decay. So yeah, I'm curious on what he has. Could still have like a tendrils. He doesn't play anything. He probably has tendrils. But then if he has tendrils we get to play our Festa Hypo, which is nice. So now I think I want to just attack him, see what he does. We don't have to pump up Putrid Leech, by the way. Doesn't really fasten the clock at all. Because he has to play the tendrils right now. It's just what he does. So that means he takes 2. And we get to play a Festa Hypo with Morbid. Now question is, should we play around another tendrils by just bequeathling our Festa Hypo, or should we bequeathal our safe hold delete, because the thing we actually want to sacrifice. We definitely have to play bequeathal right now because otherwise you can again fizzle it with removal. But yeah, I'm gonna just bequeathal safe hold delete and hope to draw a sacrifice effect. Now what does he have? What do you have, sir? Mr. Necrotal. Mr. Necrotal. Rager. Rager's mighty fine. Mighty fine. Yeah, he probably has like a Victim of Knife or S-type ball, which means we should have suited this guy up. But what can you do? We just try to beat him down. This deck's really hard to play against because he has so much removal. After side, yeah, of course. After sideboarding, it gets even worse. Even worse, I say. Let's just fetch something up. Do we even have a land left? Yeah, we have several lands left. Let's fetch something up immediately so we don't have to bother about removal. Or about discard, rather. Now we could have Corrupt. +1. Yeah, that's what he has. Corrupt. We draw a Nest Invader, which would be good if we still had this Bequeath on hand. Curses. Ah. You can never kill me. He's probably going to. Sign in Blood. No, Epsiode, okay. Just for the Robins. I still had all these Gaff's verdicts. What? We don't even get to see what we've drawn. Let's check that. Nothing anyway. So yeah, we were not able to win against Mono Black Rats. But on the other hand, we beat Affinity, or rather the Affinity player conceded the match to us. Now yeah, this matchup just before is I'm not sure how I feel about it because our deck has a lot of resilience. It has all these save hold elites and Wild Heralds and whatnot, but still the actual combo is pretty hard to pull off against an opponent with like all removal in his deck. And yeah, so anyways, this was my playtest session for tonight. It's rather late here, in Switzerland. So yeah, if you have any thoughts about a deck, please visit the Pauper to the People forums and post something in the thread about the deck. The thread is called Green Black Morbid by mayandesasters. I just checked it out again, just during the round. So yeah, mayandesasters is the guy which opened the thread, and I posted the most recent list. So the one you see right here, I posted it there a few days yesterday actually, I think. So yeah, if you have any comments about the deck, please go visit the forum thread, or you can also post something in the YouTube comments. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. This was Dom for Magic Gathering Strat, signing off. Bye bye.